This week, the U. Federal Reserve is on track for their 10th rate hike since the start of 2021. But what comes next? Many experts predict that Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell will hint at a pause in rate hikes. Yet he will also stress that further hikes could still be necessary if inflation remains persistently high. The recent collapse of the Second Republic Bank has not deterred the Fed from hiking rates. And even if Powell does suggest there will be a pause further rate hikes, he will likely emphasize that there are no plans for rate cuts anytime this year. A quarter-point rate increase will leave the U. Federal Reserve's key rate at a full 5 percentage points higher than it was in March 2022. In March, the Fed forecast one more hike and no change in rates until next year. But 7 of the 18 policymakers projected that rates would rise beyond 5.1%, suggesting that the Fed as a whole was leaning towards additional hikes. The central bank has been tightening credit rapidly to curb inflation, which is slowing and has been since last summer when it reached its highest level in 4 decades. These rate hikes have led to higher costs for many loans, such as mortgages, auto purchases, and credit cards. For the Fed's next steps, there is clouded in uncertainty and a mix of conflicting signals. The economy appears to be cooling and job postings have declined, yet the job market has remained resilient, keeping unemployment levels near 50-year lows for months. Further, there have been 3 major bank failures in the past 2 months, which has many worried about future risks. Ultimately, majorly shifting policies to combat inflation will depend on where the central bank believes it is headed. Data from the Consumer Price Index have remained stubbornly high, and Waller has stated that they haven't made much progress on our inflation goal. Fed officials will have to weigh the positives and negatives in order to decide the best track forward. So far, the current plan is to continue with a rate hike Wednesday, and we'll have to wait and see what Chairman Powell has to say following the hike.